Welcome back. While you're almost done with this course, today's lesson will be a bit longer, but it's because this is probably one of the most important lessons for a seller. Today we'll cover some of the legalities of real estate contracts and deadlines. As a seller, you have the majority of the bargaining power, but how much power is going to depend on a variety of factors. How long are you willing to wait before selling? How much do you want or need to pocket from the sale? How much risk are you willing to take in an offer? How much are you willing to do or spend to make the deal happen? Among other considerations. All of this is going to come down to the contracts and sale and purchase agreements being offered. But a good agent will know all of the contracts, the addendums and riders, and the deadlines and traps that can hurt a seller. Unfortunately, too many agents don't truly understand the full magnitude of the clauses in the contracts. They don't take the time to learn about them and how they can be used for negotiations. I spent an entire week, all day, every day, just learning about the clauses and riders, how powerful they can be, and how they can be used as leverage for both buyers and sellers. And the thing with real estate contracts is that they change every few years, so it's not something you can just learn once and you're good to go. How many agents do you think are willing to take an entire week out of generating business to learn about the contracts, the changes, and how it can affect buyers and sellers? If you said not many, you're right. There weren't many in my class, and in an area with over 17,000 agents and contracts that change every few years, the numbers suggest every class every month should be book solid. That's pretty scary, especially knowing that a buyer can very easily lose their entire deposit on a home because of their agent's contractual knowledge not being current. And those kinds of things happen all the time. So be sure to discuss your objectives with your agent, make sure they can explain the contracts and addenda to you, and then choose the contract that is best for your situation. Another thing to consider when receiving offers is the contingencies and financing they include. While some contingencies are common, like financing, appraisal, and inspection contingencies, there are some that are less common and a great deal riskier, such as the buyer's house having to sell first. Certain financing options may also delay your closing date significantly. VA and FHA loans can take longer to be approved and can also require a much more rigid standard of inspection. If you have a tight timeline to sell or know your home needs work, these kinds of financing options may not be in your best interest. Again, this will come down to your timeline, financial burdens, and objectives, so discuss them with your agent and make sure you're both on the same page for the kinds of offers you're willing to accept. And finally, one of the things that too many homeowners take too lightly are deadlines. In real estate contracts, deadlines can make or break you. Not getting an addendum signed and sent back in on time can cost you thousands of dollars. It could also force you to accept terms you may not have wanted to agree to, simply because you missed the deadline. That's why our team uses paperless technology for signatures and communications. Most people have access to their emails on their phones these days, which eliminates the risk of not being able to get to a fax machine or copier in time to send the documents back. One of the most important deadlines to keep in mind is the effective date, which is the date that all the other deadlines in the contract are based off. So it's important that both the buyer and seller's agent agree upon that effective date. Other important deadlines include the inspection deadline, the loan approval deadline if there's financing involved, the insurance cancellation deadline, and the HOA or condo document review deadline. While there are many other deadlines, these tend to be the costliest to both parties. Have your agent cover all the deadlines with you so you know in advance what could happen if they're missed. A good agent will communicate these deadlines and milestones with you, so you can rest assured knowing the process is going smoothly and you have no need for concern. This just about wraps it up for the course, but there is one more short lesson on successfully closing on the sale. If you have questions about contracts or deadlines, please give me a call to discuss this further. I hope you found today's lesson informative, and I hope you'll join me in the last lesson tomorrow. I'll see you there.